listening to The Announcer's Table with Daryl and Ian. This podcast is presented by RingIcon.com, the social networking site for wrestlers, fans, promoters, and everything indie wrestling. Log on today and create your profile, and as always, enjoy the show.
Hey guys, it's Ian.
And I'm Coffee Kingston.
Coffee Kingston?
Coffee? Whatever.
Coffee Kingston.
I'm the black dude with dreads from Kingston, Jamaica, wherever he's from.
Sure.
I don't even know where he's from. No, he's from South Africa. No.
It doesn't
where
matter.
He's from. Oh, I screwed that one all up.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, well. Welcome to the Announcer's Table presented by RingIcon.com. And today we're going to do some more wrestle talk, which we've done all week. Hopefully, our Monday, you've watched all our shows. Monday was all about WWE Network. Tuesday was
how
about...
you should just give the WWE all your money?
Yes, absolutely. Here you go. Wednesday's show was about TNA and what they got going on. A snippet of Ring of Honor, a snippet of WWE. But today we're going to talk about some WWE stuff with their Hall of Fame, with some of the wrestlers, storyline stuff that's going on like that. So
yeah.
Let's jump right into the Hall of Fame.
Okay, let's jump right into the Hall of Fame.
All right, Ultimate Warrior, yes or no?
I say yes. I mean, yes.
I don't know if I'm sold.
Yeah, I mean...
we talked about it. We talked about it the other day, and I'm not sold on it. One, I think their Hall of Fame needs to be revamped. I think 5 people
a year
every year is too much because it's going to water it down.
Yeah, I think they needed to do that for the first couple years to really, bring in some of the older guys that deserved it a long time ago that they didn't have a Hall of Fame yet. But when they started to do the Hall of Fame, now
it's just too much every year. I mean, I think 2, maybe 3 max every year is fine. But if they keep going at the rate they're going, 5 every year, honestly, I think it should just be 2 every year. 2 people.
Yeah.
And then, because if they keep going at 5, it's just going to water it down. It's not going to mean as much.
Yeah, I mean, next year I think 3MB is going to make it into the Hall of Fame, and that's just where I think
Gilbert's going in this year.
Yeah, Gilbert and Horace Hogan.
Yeah. I mean. So. They're going to start running out of legitimate people.
Yeah,
they're going to start reaching for straws.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think just 2 people. I know they want to make it a spectacle every year, and they rent out the hall across the way from whatever arena they're at, and they have all the people come in and speak. But I mean, they can still have people come in and speak, but they don't need to induct 5 people every year. And they don't have to have that as a draw. They they can, but it doesn't have to be the spectacle it is now.
Right. I mean, but let's get back to Ultimate Warrior. I mean, I think it's an okay choice. I don't think it's the best choice in the world, but Ultimate Warrior, he is a very large icon for WWE, and he made a pretty big impact, the fan base in the 80s to 90s. I think it was.
He wasn't there that long.
He was there.
He's only there a couple of years. I know it seems like he was there for a really long time, but he wasn't. I mean, I liked him. I met him when every wrestling fan knows, or should know, he teamed with Sting as the Blade Runners.
Right.
Then from that, he went on to become the Dingo Warrior, which I met him at a World of Wills event as the Dingo Warrior. And then when he signed with WWE, then WWF, obviously, the Dingo Warrior isn't going to work. Vince didn't know what the hell a dingo was. So they made him the Ultimate Warrior. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. When I was a kid, there's nothing bigger to me than the Ultimate Warrior. I love the Ultimate Warrior. I was even stoked when he came to WCW. I was like, man, I had that childhood nostalgia kick in. My thing is, one, he wasn't that great of an athlete. I mean, he was blowing up by the time he got to the ring. So his matches wasn't that good. If he had to go over 10 minutes, forget it.
No, I completely agree with that.
I think he was huge. He was a huge character for that short of time he was in WWE at the time.
But he made an impact. I mean, you remember his name. I mean, how many? There are so many wrestlers from the from the 80s and 90s that you can't remember their name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior, everybody knows who the Ultimate Warrior was.
You know why I think he's going in this year? Is because of the new game that came out.
Yeah.
And he's like featured on that. So I think they really wanted to get him in.
Yeah.
You know, and
so. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
yeah, it's definitely going to be a very, very interesting.
Especially since, from what I heard, Hogan is inducting him.
Wow, I didn't hear that one.
Oh, yeah. That might just be a rumor I heard.
I don't know.
But Hogan was supposedly inducting.
That's kind of crazy.
Ultimate Warrior.
Well, have you ever heard Ultimate Warrior or Jim Hellwig speak? Like, the dude is legitimately crazy.
Yeah, I've heard that he's not.
He's nuts. He's not all that. I've never in my life.
It's like Steve
now, I've seen some people buy into their own hype.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of times on the independent scene, people like really buy into their own hype.
Yeah.
Okay. He really buys into his own hype. Like, in his mind, there's none bigger and better than the Ultimate Warrior. And what he did to build professional wrestling. Okay, I mean, the dude is legitimately crazy. He has some screws loose. So it's definitely going to be, entertainment-wise, to see his acceptance speech.
Right.
Is going to be something. I guarantee you it goes over an hour. They're going to have to edit that stuff down.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and if Hogan introduces him, or is the one inducting him, I almost said inducing him, but that would be weird. But
that's a pregnancy thing.
Yeah. So. But if he's the one that's going to induct him, that's going to be because they hate each other, or they did.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they squashed all their bad blood.
I don't know. Maybe that was just an internet rumor that I just passed across. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But,
hey, that could be kind of cool. And if you're right about it, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I don't know. I'm excited about that. I liked the first Raw of the year, old school Raw. Brought back lots of awesome memories. Got to see a bunch of people that I'm like, man, that's really awesome, It
really did. It was very nostalgic, and it definitely, it shows that the crowd, everyone that was a fan in the 90s and early 2000s, they're still fans now. You know what I mean? And
well, some of them went back to the 80s.
Right.
I remember from the 80s.
But, some of the bigger, the guys that actually worked matches and things like that, like bringing back the Outlaws, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, that was, for me, when they grabbed the microphone and introduced themselves at the beginning of the match, that is...
you didn't know?
That is one of the most...
incredible one of my favorite parts was where Randy Orton was doing like that walk with the belts, and he's looking, and there's like legend here. There's Ivan Koloff, and then over here there's like the $1 Million Man, and then over here there's IRS Ern R. Shyster, and it was just like that whole that whole gambit that he was just running through. So to me that was like pretty bad. I was like yeah. But I mean IRS Ern R. Shyster has 2 kids in WWE. In the WWE as a whole.
Right.
Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, who's in NXT, and if I'm not mistaken, he's still NXT Heavyweight Champion. So that's kind of an accomplishment, because now the thing I like now about the era I grew up in is the wrestlers that I really liked watching and I really enjoyed. Their kids are now getting into it. As we all know, Randy Orton's 3rd generation. The Rock is multi-generation. Cody is a 2nd generation. Goldust 2nd generation. Bray and Wyatt, Bo Dallas.
Curtis Axel.
Curtis Axel. There's just a whole slew of people now that Ted DiBiase Jr. when he was there is in it. It's crazy. At the talent that's coming up and the stuff that you're seeing, and it's just I don't know, I'm impressed.
I agree, and it's the kids that have grown up in the wrestling business, and so we'll see where some of them go, but some of them will make it, some won't, but because who I think will have a shot in the next couple of years. It's going to be Cody Hall, Scott Hall's son. Yeah, we saw him. Yeah, we saw him live, and
he's a big dude. He's like 7 foot tall.
Yeah, and he is very athletic.
Yeah.
Like, super athletic.
Great look to him. I mean, right now, because he does a lot of local independent shows. And the thing right now is he really, really, really... All right, fine, keep the Cody Hall name because that's what's going to get him booked. But he needs to start coming up with his own gimmick. Because, like, every time I've seen him and he's advertised, he wears, like, the same blood vest as his dad does, the same kind of red and black wolf pack colors. He does the same movements that his dad does, that whole little, kind of thing. He comes out like that, does the whole little too sweet thing. So he has his dad's moves all down.
Right.
Which is great.
But he needs his own.
But he needs his own identity.
Yeah, I completely agree.
If he wants to stand out, that's fine. He's getting his name out there. Like you said, we've seen him. He's very athletic. I think in a couple of years he has an actual real chance of getting somewhere. But
I think WWE would rebrand him. I don't think they would. I don't think they would.
I don't think they'll bring him out as Cody Hall.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, but because he doesn't look. He's not a spitting image of his dad, looks wise. I mean, so I don't think
you'd want to be.
Huh?
I don't think you'd want to be.
No, probably not. But I mean, his dad has been traveling with him a lot. Kind of getting him in places. So I mean, I'm curious to see how that goes.
Yeah. So, that's something to watch. But speaking of, Bray Wyatt, I guess we can talk about the storyline with that right now. I mean, that's one of it was the most awkward thing, I guess, is that they brought in, they literally threw Daniel Bryan into the Wyatt family very quickly, and it was going nowhere. I
personally don't think it had enough time.
Yeah, I know you don't think it had enough time, but the fans were so confused. I was confused. Like, do you cheer for Daniel Bryan or do you boo him? You had no idea.
Yeah.
And it was like you want to cheer for him because you really like Daniel Bryan. You like where it's going, but you didn't want to cheer for the Wyatt family. So it was very confusing.
I get what you're saying, and I think WWE ended it as quickly as they did because, honestly, who is more over right now in WWE?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody. I mean, especially after he turned back to being a good guy. That crowd was insane with yelling.
Like, it's funny because CC Devlin, who we've had on as an interview, he posted something on Facebook. Yeah. And he's like, he goes, "You see, boys and girls, that's how you get over."
Yep.
Or he goes, "That's over." Like, I mean, it was insane because I remember sitting there and everybody's just chanting his name. But you heard he got a concussion at the beginning of the cage match or something, and said that he didn't even remember anything that happened that show. And that's probably one of the biggest things. He's been heavyweight champion, but I mean, come on, he didn't get that kind of pop. That place, I think, was shaking because of everybody chanting the yes, yes, yes.
All in unison. It was
they got to do something. I mean, he's so huge.
I hate to say it, he has to win the Royal Rumble. Because that would put him at WrestleMania main event and get the world title like he deserves. I mean, he deserves it because they ripped it from him. The crowd wants him to have it. That would be the biggest ending to the pay-per-view year. WrestleMania is the end of the pay-per-view year, starting a new one, at the next pay-per-view. But to end the pay-per-view year with Daniel Bryan getting the title would sum up this whole last year. You know what I mean?
Just is.
Especially since last WrestleMania. You know
what's crazy is we all saw Daniel Bryan come in through their NXT thing.
Yeah.
And we saw him get fired for the choking incident where he threw somebody over the rope at the tie and was choking them. And then see him brought back, see him be the bad guy, see him team with Kane, see him have the crazy problems, to see him start getting the fans behind him, to see him, on Total Divas engaged to Brie Bella, and then to becoming heavyweight champion twice now, I believe.
Yeah.
And then to just that point to kind of accumulate everything, just like him sitting on top of the cage and the whole place going nuts.
Yeah.
Chanting yes. I've never seen that for anybody.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time. And them chanting Daniel Bryan his name like that. That's an independent thing. That's a Ring of Honor thing. You know,
Yeah.
they don't do that very often in WWE.
I think,
and
well,
they don't get it.
depending on the
They don't get
territory
it
that they go
right.
to.
Yeah, they don't get it right very often in the
Yeah.
WWE. You might hear a few fans starting it up, but it never gets the whole crowd in it. And they got the whole crowd in it.
Yeah.
You know,
The
so
thing,
that was
you know what I like
insane.
now is the audience is finally starting to get smart.
Yes.
Because, like, we see the independent shows, the crowd really gets into it. The wrestlers really get the crowd into it. And you see it, like, you saw the ECW, man. The crowd at ECW pay-per-views were nuts. But I think the wrestlers now are starting to step up their game. And some matches, I hear the chants, I'm like, I don't really see it. But there's some matches I'm like, holy cow, this is a freaking awesome match. And the audience is chanting, this is awesome, you know.
Yeah.
And so they're starting to get into it. Because I like a very loud and boisterous crowd. I like them to be chanting. I like them to be into it. And if you can get them chanting, this is awesome, the whole audience chanting this, I mean, come on. That's going to make everybody goes on after you have to step up their game. Everybody that went on before you wondering what the hell they did wrong. And that's going to get you noticed by, you know, creative to like, man, that was a good match. Maybe we put that same match on again and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then maybe that can get you bigger storylines or get you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, I mean, Daniel Bryan is over. I mean, Royal Rumble's right around the corner. He's in the Rumble, so I hope that he wins. That's my dream, is that he wins, sets up for him at WrestleMania to win the title. But we'll see. I mean, they've screwed Daniel Bryan quite a few times.
Now, I know the biggest botch-up return in history is Batista. God, there's so many things they could have done.
I've never been a big fan of him anyway. But
yeah, I've never been a big fan of him either. But, I mean, he's all right. I've never not liked him, but I've never really liked him either. So,
yeah.
But I think they could have brought him back so many different ways. And just to kind of announce it, I mean, come on. Like, he's coming back, today's Friday, so he came back this past Monday. So, I mean, just, it's ridiculous. They should have, like, all right, this is my scenario. I'll talk to you about it. All right, Alberto Del Rio and Rey Mysterio are feuding. Everybody knows Rey Mysterio and Batista are good friends. All right, so I say Alberto Del Rio's beating the tar out of Rey Mysterio with a chair. All of a sudden, boom, music hits. Batista comes out of nowhere, saves the day, sets up for a feud with him and Alberto Del Rio. Man, they had brought him back like that, everybody would have went nuts. The whole place would have went nuts. Wrestling world would have went nuts. Everything. But instead, they just kind of...
I wouldn't have gone nuts. I don't care.
You wouldn't have done it like that?
No, that would have been a smarter way to do it. Or some kind of mysterious... have
them pop up at the Rumble.
Yeah,
like they did
I mean, I kind of
time.
like the mysterious countdown sometimes. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
The August warning thing for TNA. It would have been awesome if it was somebody that we cared about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So something like that. You know, the mystery person that you don't know. I think Batista could have gone over really well as a mystery person that shows up. There's a lot of people that wouldn't work for. But I think Batista probably could have pulled that off. But
even if he didn't come back on Monday, like if he was just going to come back on the Rumble, have the countdown, and it'd be countdown to the Rumble, and like of course JR, and it'd be like, hey, that's the date to the Rumble. He's coming back in the Rumble. Who is this? Gotta
JR's
JR's not even there. I don't know why I said JR. I meant the King and Bradshaw.
Yeah.
But have them like kind of talk it up so everybody knows that's what the date is, and you kind of get to like this countdown thing going. And then as the Rumble, like the number that he comes in at, have it like count down to the actual with the thing, and then.
But they've done that before, and then nobody came out. Do you remember that a few years ago? Yeah. It was a big countdown for somebody to come out, and then nobody came out. And then I think at the very end of the Rumble, somebody came out, and I was like, that just killed the whole story. That. But I don't know. I think that might have been WCW.
Well, I think they dropped the ball. But I do think, all in all, the Rumble is shaping up to be a good.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's going to be pretty.
It kicks off the road to WrestleMania, so it needs to be. That's funny. A really good card. I know John Cena and Randy Orton are fighting. But what's his name? Brock Lesnar is going to fight the winner of that. I know. Well, pull it up right here. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up real quick so that we know. That
yeah, I forgot my computer on recording day.
He's a failure.
Makes me a loser.
So yeah, there's only 3 matches set up so far, but on the website.
Yeah, Big Show and Brock Lesnar. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a great match, but I mean, 2 big guys going at it. I always kind of get, look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't think it's going to be one to remember.
But yeah, I think we're going to see probably Batista and.
But there's very few matches that I think that the Big Show ends that I remember, just because there's only so much punching you can do in a match, and that's all that Big Show seems to do. Is punch.
Well, at least he doesn't do the whole. You remember Elegante? I want the belt, and all he did was like the freaking chop.
That's what a great call he does.
Yeah, that's all they give all the big. Awkward big guys, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
But I mean, but I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think it will be Batista and Alberto Del Rio probably have a match at the Rumble, and they'll also probably be in the Rumble.
Yeah, and
well, normally it's a 30-man Rumble, but like last year it was like 40-something people in it.
Oh wow! No, I mean this year it's 30. So.
Oh, you think it's gonna be 30?
That's what it says right there, 30.
Well, they may say 30, but I think no, I thought there was like more people last year.
I don't know.
Cause I always thought it was 30, but I thought they said something about there was 40 people. I don't know. I have to look it up. But I don't have anything else. I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to WWE Network.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's going to be freaking awesome.
I don't see why they just don't drop it right now, because I'd buy it right now.
So I'm ready for it. I want to go back and watch all these shows. I just wish they would.
I mean, Royal Rumble. I wish we'd have on the network. So
yeah,
but whatever.
We'll see. I'm excited.
I am too.
All right, and then starting next week, we should be back to our regular shows with our Promotion Builder Mondays, Gimmick Builder Tuesdays, Interview Wednesdays, and Wrestle Talk Fridays.
Yeah.
So we just had a bunch of wrestling information to talk about because we took so much time off.
Yeah.
So hit us up, ringicon.com, like us on Facebook, interact with us, check out our videos, obviously.
Yes.
If you think we should do something different, let us know. Maybe we'll have you on to debate it and tell you how stupid you are. I'm just kidding. You're not stupid.
Yes, you are. Actually, I'm just talking to Daryl.
Yeah. That's how we roll.
Yep.
All right. So until Monday's Promotion Builder. See you then.